Everybody, this is for the co-anglers and the boaters. What does it mean to link, and did you know that you're not even guaranteed to fish if you do link? I'll explain. So here's what I mean about linking. Linking is finding a boater or a co-angler to keep the field even. That way, when you get to the pairings at the pre-tournament meeting, you guys are even. Boaters with co-anglers, it goes really well. So that's what it means to link. You're keeping the field even. Are you fishing together? No, you're not. You're not fishing together. Is there a chance? Well, maybe. I mean, they say it's completely random, so it has to be a chance to be paired with the guy you link with if it's completely random. Now, odds are you won't, so don't plan on it. Most likely you'll be fishing with a random boater. So how do you do it? There's a good BFL link finder on Facebook that you can get on and put out the division you're fishing. Hopefully someone reaches out to you, you pair up, you link, and you're into the tournament. You're guaranteed to actually be drawn for a partner, let's just say that. So like I said, it's important to keep the field even, but it's also important to make sure you have a spot in that tournament, because if you're not linked, then you go in the group of people that don't have a link. So a lot of times there's a co-angler waiting list. Well, a lot of times the boaters decide that's not really that big of a deal to them, and they'll just sign up when they want to sign up. So they'll wait till the last week before the cutoff, and then they'll sign up, and then it'll get a bunch of co-anglers in, and then you'll kind of know where you're at once you stack up for that. There is a priority date, so make sure you are linked before the priority date, or you will not have a guarantee and you're just in line at that point. The other way to find a link is to call your buddies. Put the word out with your friends, other boaters, other fishermen. A lot of times they can find you a link. The pre-tournament meeting, they are going to try to make sure everybody's linked. They're going to try to make sure you have guarantees into the tournament. So they will ask people if they need a link to raise their hands. Go ahead and make sure you are the one that steps up and says, I need a link, and then you're good to go. But what happens if, say you get into the season and your link decides not to fish anymore? Well, hopefully they told you before the tournament so you could either find a new link or you were signed up soon enough, because if your link drops out, say after the deadline, then there's no way for you to link. So then you go back into the date you signed up for the tournament. So if there's 150 co-anglers in front of you that signed up before you, you are behind them. Even though you had a link before, you go back in line where you signed up by date of the tournament registration. So make sure you get signed up early into those tournaments, because if that happens, you want to be one of the first in line. I think they've changed it to where if you are on the waiting list, you will get in if you can find a boater to fish. It doesn't mean you're going to fish with them, but if you can find a boater to fish, you will leapfrog. Oh, here's the good one. Are you guaranteed to fish the tournament? And that is a no. A big fat no. No. And here's why. And it happened to me last season, and I will put a little link to that video if you haven't seen it. But in my case, my boater decided he wasn't on fish. He left the night of the tournament meeting and just decided to leave, did not pull out. He even pre-registered for the tournament, because you got to pretty much say, yeah, I'm here, I'm gonna fish. Well, he decided to do that and then not be here to fish. So he left. What does that do to me? That means I was paired with him. My boater's gone. I have nobody to fish with. Was I linked? Yes, I had a guaranteed link into the tournament. Doesn't matter, because the co-anglers that didn't have a link, they already got paired with a boater. So they're not gonna shift that whole system and take a boater away from somebody that's paired that's there. It's not cool, but even if you have a link, you're done. So I think they changed it to where if you are on the waiting list, or if you do find, which this is how I got in, it was some really great guys fish the Illini division, and you know who you are, Riley and Keith and Garrett and all you guys was able to help me get a boater, and I appreciate you guys for that. What it boils down to is no matter what happens, if something happens to your boater or your co-angler after you're already paired for the tournament, you may not fish. So that's out of your hands. It's a very rare situation, but just be ready for it, be understanding, and hopefully they can work with you to get through. So here's my 3 tips on linking. Try to find a link you trust, one that's gonna fish the whole season so you don't have to worry about jumping back and forth with different links. Just make sure you can communicate, let each other know that you're gonna fish or not, and do it before the link date so you guys can move on and still enter the tournament. And the biggest thing I can tell you guys, this is not good for the boater side, but it's good for the co-angler side. Sign up early. If you're the first one to sign up for that tournament, you're gonna fish because you will be in front of all those other co-anglers and you will get a spot into the tournament. Boater side, not the same for you. You better link, because if you could be the first boater to sign up, but if you're not linked at that time of that tournament and there's not enough co-anglers, you have a risk of being paired with another boater regardless of when you signed up. And you don't normally want to fish boat on boat because you got to fish in the back for half of the time. Everybody, I appreciate you watching. If you want some swell Phantom fishing gear, make sure you go on phantomoutdoors.com, but use the link in the description to get you a discount and you can be looking good. Make sure you use the links or the codes in the description, because if you don't help me and you don't get a discount. So I don't know why you wouldn't. But also hit me up, comment, let me know if you have any questions. I will answer your questions. I will try to help you all I can. And good luck fishing, and remember, it only takes one cast.